Hello again, everyone. This gloomy Friday morning, the day we call Preparation Day. Today, my story is going to be about creation. All right. It says and this is found in Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm just going to be using excerpts from it. And one of the things that amazes me is the Bible says, and God created the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and all these beasts. I think of the elephants and the giraffes and the whales. And God said he put man to have dominion over everything. And that is why, you see a huge elephant, tons and tons of massive muscle and all that stuff. And mankind is able to subdue those animals and creatures of all sorts. And yet with all of that, the power that God has given us, compare it to God's power. When you think of his creative power, like David said, when I consider the moon and the stars and all that thou hast made, what is man that thou art mindful of him? The power of God is just, I cannot explain it. I don't think any human can. But we who believe in the creative power of God know that he is awesome. And that's why I don't use that word, loosely awesome, because God is awesome. I cannot explain it. I cannot understand. I cannot comprehend his power and his might, but I know that he is powerful. And then it says, on the sixth day, God created man after his own image and his own likeness. We are supposed to look like him. And likeness, I think of things like love. I think of sorrow. I think of joy. I think of anger and hatred and all of these things. And those words are all here in the Bible. All right, but today I want to talk about Preparation Day. We celebrate birthdays on the date. We celebrate Thanksgiving on the date. We celebrate Independence Day on the date. But what God did, he gave us a day, a number, a day to celebrate. He said the seventh day. So we who believe in those laws, I'm not saying that those of you who celebrate on another day don't believe in most of the laws, but we believe that he gave us all of the laws to celebrate. And let me tell you something. One of the things that I have often thought of, God, everything that he's done, it's always about us. It's like a parent, and he is our father. Everything, even the day that he gave us to rest, he said, take this day, the seventh day, and rest. Because he know we would be ripping and running all 7 days if he didn't make that law. And there are traditions that some celebrate on the first day, but the focus is on his law. Because right after he created the world, he gave the law. He says, 6 days you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day, the Bible says he rested. On the seventh day, he sanctified it, means that he set it aside for holy use. So this day that he gave us, it's not a day that can be manipulated or changed around. He gave us because it's a part of the law that he wrote with his finger. The whole Bible is written by men who were inspired by him. But God in his wisdom, he didn't do that with the commandments. He wrote it himself, and he wrote it on stone. He didn't write it on a parchment, or he wrote it on stone. And that tells me something. That tells me how important it is that God give us these laws. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. But when he got to the fourth, he says, remember Remember, because if I ask you to do something and I say remember, it means that this particular thing is most important. Not that the rest isn't important, but just in case, don't forget this particular one. So God in his love give us that day so that we can rest from all that we do. We rip and run, like I say, we work, and he wants us to rest. And why I say God is always thinking about us, this day that he gave us to rest, who benefits from it? I know I do. What does God get from me? What can I do for God? You know, he's always giving. He gave us this day so that we can rest. And it's to worship him. But when we worship him, what happens? We are blessed. It doesn't matter which way you turn it or twist it. We are the ones who benefit from everything that God has created, what he's done. We are the beneficiaries, period. And just in case, for those who may, question the commandments or the commandment of the Sabbath, I have some scriptures here, and there are some who believe that it was an old law for the Jews, but when God created a law, Abraham was not even born. He was not alive. And one of the scriptures that I have here, it says, the Sabbath was made for man, and that's in Mark 2:27. I have all the scriptures here. Matthew 15:9. I have John 14:15. I have Exodus 28. I have Luke 4:16. Matthew 5:17. Revelation 22:18. And there are many more. But we can go on, and there is no evidence which is proven here by some information that I found online, who changed the Sabbath. And for those of you who were brought up in the tradition of Sunday, just take a look, because you, like myself, I believe, want to obey God. So just go online and look up who changed the Sabbath. He says, I am a God, I am thy God, I change not. The laws has not changed, because when God was finished the creation, he gave us, okay, now this is the world that you live in. I've given you everything, and this is what I want you to do. What kind of God would he be to give us all this stuff and not give us directives? And so when we read Genesis 1, Exodus 20, and all those other scriptures, we will see that God had in store for us to be blessed, to be happy, and to worship him. And in worshiping him, we become better. We are better people. This is something that I found online. It says here, the Roman Catholic Church changed the Sabbath. One priest said, if Protestants, that's all who worship God, who protest against man-made laws, if Protestants will follow the Bible, they will worship God on the Sabbath day, that is Saturday. In keeping Sunday, they are following a law of the Catholic Church. This is by Chancellor Albert Smith of Archdiocese of Baltimore. Another one says, and this can be found online, had she not such power, talking about the church, because when the Bible talks about the church, the Bible refers to the church as a woman. Had she, and this is what I found online, had she not such power, referring to the Catholic Church, she could not have done that in which all modern religionists agree with her. She could not have substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the seventh day, a change for which there is no scriptural authority. And this is what they say. So they admit that they are the ones who change. So my admonition to you is, Who do you obey? Another one says here, this is James Cardinal Gibbons. You can Google it. You may read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and you will not find a single line authorizing the sanctification of Sunday. The scriptures enforce the religious observance of Saturday, which is the seventh day, a day which we never sanctified. So he is claiming that they, the church, they did not sanctify it. And my argument is that we ought to obey God. I don't know the reason why they would think to change God's law, but the Bible says it, that they will think to change times and laws. I think that's found in Revelation 13. So let us be careful. Let us place our minds on obedience to God. There are some who may, in honest thinking that they're doing right. But the thing of it is, God is particular. And if we as human beings have laws and we insist or we expect it to be kept, what about the Creator? What about the Creator that created this vast universe? There is a documentary I would advise you to look at. It's called God of Wonders. I mean, it takes your breath away. And that's just a little snippet of, God's creative power. Just a little tip of the iceberg. And my argument is that he deserves to be honored and obeyed and worshipped. The Bible says we've all sinned. I have dishonored him. I would be the first to admit it. I have dishonored him. He deserves everything he asks for because he is God. He is creator. That's one thing that no one else can claim. One title that no one else can claim. He only is God. He only is creator. You can even call yourself God, but no one else can be called creator. God bless you. Think on these things. Think about God and his creative power. Think about who died for you. Think about who you are supposed to place your allegiance to. The Creator. This is my advice. Worship God because he is Creator. God bless you. And I hope that one day, those of you who have not enjoyed the seventh day Sabbath, that you will try it. Try it. You may like it. The Bible says, taste and see. I cannot explain to you the joy of Sabbath, because there is something in the Sabbath day, there's something in that 7th day that I cannot explain. It is what it is. God blessed it. The Bible says he blessed it, he sanctified it, and he hallowed it. No other day has those attributes attached to it except the day that God gave us to rest, and he called it holy. God bless you, and we look forward to another story coming up. I'm not sure. I am kind of tossed to and fro about 2 that I have in mind, but just keep listening. Remember to share, like, and subscribe so that whenever I have a new story coming up, you will hear. Stay strong, stay prayed up. Jesus is coming, and he's coming soon. Be blessed.